Here's an extended conversation with even more detailed insights on learning English effectively.
Hi, Alex. I've been studying English for a while, but I feel like I'm not improving as fast as I'd like. Do you have any tips?
Sure. Learning a language is definitely challenging, but there are lots of strategies that can help. To start, you focusing on any specific skill, like listening, speaking, or reading.
I'm trying to work on all of them, but I usually end up focusing on grammar and vocabulary. I feel like my progress is pretty slow, though.
That's a common approach, and it's a good start. Grammar and vocabulary are the foundations, but sometimes they are more effective when you combine them with other skills. Have you tried practicing with real-life materials, like English podcasts or videos?
I've tried, but it's tough to understand native speakers sometimes. They talk so quickly.
That's totally normal, especially when you're just starting. Try slowing down the playback speed. Most apps allow you to do that now. Also, you could use English subtitles to catch more of what they are saying. It helps to get used to natural speaking speeds gradually.
I didn't know I could adjust the speed. That sounds helpful. Are there any specific podcasts or channels for learners that you'd recommend?
Sure. ESL Pod is a great one for learners. They break down conversations in simple terms. Another one I like is English Learning for Curious Minds. It covers interesting topics, which makes learning feel more fun. You could also try YouTube channels like BBC Learning English and English with Lucy. They're excellent resources with tons of free videos.
I'll look into those. By the way, how important is speaking practice? I don't really have anyone to practice English with, and I think that might be slowing down my progress.
Speaking practice is super important. Even if you don't have someone to practice with, there are some ways around that. Language exchange apps, like HelloTalk or Tandem, can connect you with English speakers who want to practice other languages. Or, you could even talk to yourself in English. It sounds funny, but it works.
Talking to myself, how does that help?
It helps because it gives you practice forming sentences on the spot. For example, you could describe what you're doing, talk about your plans for the day, or summarize what you did. The more you do it, the more natural it will feel to think and speak in English.
That's interesting. I hadn't thought of that. So even without a partner, I can still improve my speaking skills. I'll give it a try.
Absolutely. And if you want to take it a step further, you can record yourself speaking. Then, listen to the recording and see where you can improve. This can be really helpful for noticing pronunciation or grammar mistakes.
That's a good idea. I usually feel shy speaking English, but maybe practicing alone will help me gain confidence.
For sure. Building confidence is key. The more you practice speaking, the more comfortable you'll feel over time. Have you thought about joining any online English groups or classes?
I haven't really looked into it. Do you think joining a class would make a big difference?
It definitely could. Being in a structured environment, even online, can help you practice consistently. Plus, you'll get feedback from teachers, which can be really valuable. You could also meet other learners, which gives you people to practice with.
That sounds good. I've been hesitant about joining a class because I'm worrying I won't keep up. But maybe I'll give it a try.
Most classes are pretty flexible with levels, so don't worry about that. And as long as you put in the effort, you'll keep improving. By the way, how's your reading practice going? Reading is another great way to boost your vocabulary and grammar skills.
I've been reading short articles online, but sometimes I struggle with vocabulary. I end up using a translator a lot, and it can be discouraging.
That's a common experience. One trick is to pick material slightly below your current level. You could start with graded readers, which are books written specifically for language learners. Or, if you're interested in specific topics, look for articles for younger readers. They tend to use simpler language but still cover interesting topics.
I like the idea of reading graded books. That sounds more manageable. Should I look up every word? I don't know.
Not necessarily. Try to guess the meaning from the context first. If you come across words that are repeated often or seem essential, then look them up. You can write those words down and review them later.
I think that'll help me focus more on understanding the overall meaning instead of getting stuck on each word.
Exactly. The goal is comprehension, not perfection. And over time, you'll build up your vocabulary naturally. Also, another great exercise is summarizing what you read in your own words. This helps reinforce new words and phrases.
That sounds like it could help with my writing skills too, right?
Absolutely. Writing summaries is fantastic practice. You could even try journaling in English, writing about your day, thoughts, or goals. It's a good way to practice expressing yourself in English, and it doesn't have to be perfect.
I'll try that. Writing has always felt challenging for me, but maybe journaling will help me feel more comfortable.
Definitely. The key is consistency. Even a few sentences each day can make a big difference. And remember to be patient with yourself. Language learning is a marathon, not a sprint.
Thanks, Alex. I really appreciate all these tips. I feel like I have a clearer direction now.
You're welcome, Lynn. Stick with it and remember to celebrate the small wins along the way. Every bit of progress counts. Let me know how it goes. I'm sure you'll do great.